Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the official ARK Podcast number 194. My name's Mistletoe, and I'm here with the core team. Your host for tonight, as always, the one and only Alice. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Mistletoe. And folks, welcome back to another edition of the ARK Daily Podcast. This is Saturday, May 13th. As we get closer every day to our 200th podcast, closer to the Air card being released, the Terra card as well, and the Fiat on-ramp. Boy, are we excited. Yes, we are. A lot of work happening here. A lot of building for the future. A lot of questions coming in from different groups. They want to know about these products. They want to get involved. They want to use them. They want to know about the privacy token. They want to understand, what are you guys doing over there? It's so interesting. The streets keep talking about it. Well, there's a lot of material. Shout out to Jashawn Vanquish with his new videos, talking about the roadmap, talking about ZK rollups. The man is on fire, sharing the good news. He's got ARK running through his veins, folks. And pretty soon we're going to see a lot of new faces here, a lot of people that are looking for that value, for the leading edge, creating the future of tomorrow, today, here on the ARK. Perfect timing. Absolutely perfect timing. We're at 5,178 ARK Vault accounts on the board. Liquidity on Pancake Swap, folks, 929,176 BUSD. Just about to clip the 930,000. Liquidity on Pancake Swap. ILC reserves 326,788 BUSD. Holding nice and steady. Price at 572. Pump incoming, folks. We're working on the schedule of our tour to share our utilities with the masses and start getting them ready to receive the opportunity to come into the privacy token, as well as, hey, don't fall asleep on those legacy NFT, folks. They are the key to all of the businesses that are being created here. All of the revenue going right back to the ILC, to the legacy NFT holders. Boy, do we want to hear the sound of those printers. Bring that cash flow, stacking it right into the ILC reserves, as well as the legacy NFT holders. Spark price pool for today, $682.70. 682 ARK.71, right? And that, my friends, is a street value of $3,905.10. So it's going to be given away here. 90% going to Spark winner, and 10% going to the MVP. For the past 24 hours, we can see here they've brought in 779.05 ARK, folks. Street value of $4,454.65 with 17 referrals. Talk about earning it. Come on. Putting the work in, growing towards the growth here on the ARK, folks. With that, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Brett Nordine. Check the temperature of what's happening. I know there's quite a lot of work, a lot of meetings behind the scenes. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Doing great. Yeah, the village is hungry. I'm getting a lot of questions about when DVPN, when when the air card. Coming soon, folks. Yeah, we're working on buttoning things up, and I think if we roll things out the way that we did previously with the PWA, we'll probably introduce those products through the DAO. Would be my guess. We haven't formally talked about that, but that would be, I think, the best way to do it, and let them take it through the paces again, and find anything that we might have missed or hadn't thought about to make the user experience unbelievable, like we like to do here. I think everyone knows that when we do have a solid date and make the announcement, we'll do that in a professional fashion, where we roll out an announcement, we make it clearly visible on Telegram, Discord, and we get everybody prepared. So, and we'll probably do maybe even a special announcement on the podcast for the days leading up to that. But I think that's the way we'll roll it out. So if you're part of the DAO, you'll probably see those products first. You mentioned the Air card. That will be the first to roll out. That's the virtual card, the no KYC, load it and spend it instantaneously. So that one I know is getting really close. We do have a design review next week, and Alex will be incorporating elements from that design that our designer's working on. And then we should be buttoning things up. So back-end work should be done at that point, and we'll have a full process flow for onboarding an air card. So it should be exciting. So I can tell you that by next week, the end of next week, we'll have a date that we are going to launch it and make that available. Yes. Sorry about the background noise. I got an airplane flying by.
I like the birds.
We were
really
talking
happy.
earlier, the cell phone service here is just crap where I'm at in Scottsdale. So just had to try to find good Wi-Fi and good high-speed internet. But so I came outside. I think it's a little better reception. And then we have
like hearing the
meetings
birds with you, Brett, because we know that when we hear birds on the ARK, that means that we're coming close to a shore, close to landing, to bring them all in. Let's go. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, we also have, I think I mentioned, we have a draft of the light paper, and we're having more meetings this weekend to talk about tokenomics and mechanisms and everything. But I do want to set the expectation that these are going to be preliminary numbers. We definitely don't want to put ourselves in a corner in terms of just the tokenomics, because we know as the development process continues, some of those things may evolve. We did the same exact thing with ArkFi. When we did do the final, when we had the pre-sale launch, then we had the tokenomics nailed down, final. But during this pre-seed round, we're going to at least do a preliminary look at what the tokenomics and mechanics will be, just in terms of burn mechanics and reflections if we do that, and other things, where we're going to send potential sell taxes. We're talking about doing a small portion sent back to ArkFi for a buy and then virtual burn, back into the vault, for example. So all these things are on the table. We haven't finalized anything yet with the tokenomics, but I'll do my best to convey what we think is going to be, an estimate of what all of the total supply will be and where those allocations are going to be. We're definitely not going to nail ourselves down this early in the game. We have a lot to do, and and a lot of discussions to be had with people that have experience in as quants and tokenomics for this type of application. So that's kind of our first and foremost, and a lot of this is being driven by security. We talked about ZK and how that's going to interact, but we also have to make sure that we have security at the node level. So that's very important, and the tokenomics do play into how we secure those nodes and make sure that they're valid when they are, handling bandwidth for the DVPN, for example, or storage for the cloud storage product. So those are all very important considerations, and they do roll back into the tokenomics. And as we move down the development, path, some of those could be adjusted accordingly to enhance the product, optimize things, or even make it more secure. So that's kind of where we're at. And the rest of the roadmap products, are falling into place. And I think that if we perform our mission of making those very available and marketed in a great fashion, I think we're going to have some really good businesses on our hands. As you mentioned, the timing couldn't be better. The narrative couldn't be better. And I think that's just going to continue throughout this year is as these other channels of on and off ramping tighten, we may be some of the only games in town. People have mentioned other products, but they have, issues with those or struggle with some things, and ours can offer an alternative to some of those already well-established products, but then also offer some enhancements that maybe people haven't experienced before that are already into crypto. So yeah, and and I almost forgot, next week we are going to be doing the sales presentation that we've been talking about. Brandon and I are going to give the first couple, and we're going to have our presenters on and available for the Zoom calls. So we're going to start those next week. Those are going to be preliminary presentations, but you'll see Brandon and I, he's going to do Tuesday, I'm doing Wednesday. And so we're going to get an announcement out with the Zoom call links and a banner ad. And you can obviously shill that and add your referral code to it. And if you send that out in your groups, you'll be able to get people over, and they can use your referral code if they watch the presentation and jump on board after. So we'll have some more details about that coming. But we're putting that together, and those will be the start of something big, I think. So yeah, looking forward to that. Anything else you want me to mention?
No, I think we've done a great job of keeping the community informed and getting the information out there. I like seeing all the DMs coming through. Folks are stacking. They're piling up their ARK. They want in. They want the seat at the table. They want to be in that little 1%. They understand that we've really put together here, what I call the hourglass contract that is really going to offer a fantastic opportunity for folks to bring their ARK to the next level. It's that boost into the bigger ecosystem, the ARK network. That's just going to be something that it's just going to set the whole, I think, DeFi space ablaze, folks. So great to see that happening. Also excited with the Zoom presentations coming on. I mean, every day we get closer. Every day people are more curious. We're getting a lot of invitations right now, the past couple of days. Hey, please come back. And we want to hear about these products. We want to hear about this privacy token. Folks are just so interested in what we're putting together here. And the word's getting out. So I want to give a shout out to the community for spreading the message and educating. It's not smoke and mirrors. We're going, I think, in a very transparent manner, which we've proven to our community is the way we like to work. That's why we're here every single day, answering questions, staying after the podcast for Q&A, dropping more alpha, and really bringing everyone's knowledge about this direction and everything right to where it needs to be. And again, shout out to Jay Vanquish for really coming through, bringing the excitement. There's so much for everybody here to learn. There's so much for everyone here to contribute and become a part of it. This is your ARK, folks. This belongs to you. You are the initial investors here. And I think a lot of you folks are definitely in for the adventure of a lifetime. With that, let's turn it over to Coach Brad. Coach Brad, how are you doing today? What do you got lined up for us and the All Aboard?
All aboard!
Hello, sir. I am very well, thank you. Today for the All Aboard session, we have another video from Clover Crypto. It's his second ARK video. He's got quite a big following over on YouTube. He's just around 10,000 subs. So he's got a good audience. Get the word about ARK out. And he does, he's got his own style. He's literally just standing in front of a whiteboard with information on it in this video. No bells and whistles, just him talking about ARK. He did his first ARK
like a
video.
college professor.
Yeah,
Reminds me
literally.
of those, right?
Yeah, literally. That is
How to
exactly
break
what
the
it
atoms. How to get that financial abundance here. That education,
Yes,
anti-inflation against the printers. He's breaking it down on the whiteboard. I saw it. I loved it. He's getting really hyped and pumped about ARK, which is great to see.
he is indeed. And this video is titled How to Grow a Massively Profitable ArkFi Account. So, great alpha, great knowledge for the community. It's a shame he's not with us tonight, but he has been in the podcast quite recently as of late. And, once you come into an ARK podcast, you tend to come back every day, rain or shine. But it's the weekend, so we'll give him a hall pass. But I'll show the video and then we can have some discussion about it after.
And he's out in the jungle too. So when it rains, he told us that the Starlink doesn't work at its most optimum level.
Yeah, I can imagine. Probably gets very little reception. But okay, here we go. Let's watch this video together and we'll talk about it afterwards.
What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm breaking down ArkFi on the whiteboard. I'm going to be giving a little bit more clarity to some of the aspects to it. It aims to be a very simplified approach to DeFi, and so I want to explain some of the different aspects and why it's unique. And all you need to get started is a MetaMask account and a little bit of BNB or BUSD, and that's going to be used to swap or deposit in the vault. It's real simple and easy. As you do that swap, it automatically puts you into the vault, and you have the ability to earn up to 2% daily on that deposit. Now, those percentages change as you grow with the project, as you get closer and closer to reaching your initial deposit value. I have some of the basics that are important to understand, different aspects about the community, how this becomes a little bit more of a sustainable ecosystem, some of the different developments and things that they're working on. If you're looking at some of the basics, one of the things you need to understand is that this is a 24-hour timer. So when you're depositing into the vault and earning rewards, you need to come back in a 24-hour period and then reallocate those rewards. So the allocations allow you to have different strategies, one on building an account that has a lot of future profit potential, or one where you're going to be able to get the majority of your initial capital back, and then you have much more safer approach, because if something were to happen, then you're a little bit more protected because you've earned the majority of your initial capital that you had invested in this project. You've earned some of that back. So right now with ARK, there's 3 basic ways that you can earn inside of the ecosystem. There may be others in the future with some of the other developments that are going to be worked on. So the vault is going to be your primary way of earning. You also have the variable yield bonds. So this is becoming a part of the liquidity pool, and you earn a little bit based on the taxations inside the ecosystem. It's also allowing you to be eligible for rewards, for Spark rewards, perhaps other contests and giveaways in the future, as well as earning on referrals. The other one is the legacy NFTs. It allows you to compound a little bit more aggressively inside of the vault and build those rewards so that you can earn more in the future. We've seen several improvements in the ROI smart contract space that has improved the sustainability. If you have too many people withdrawing and selling in the ecosystem, any of these ROI smart contract projects are going to be at risk of failure. And we're starting to see that, particularly with the biggest one right now with Drip. Everyone's selling, and so that is really dragging that entire ecosystem down. And so this is done in a little bit of a different way that's going to be offering a lot more sustainable tokenomics. So this is something that rewards people for positive behaviors. When you initially deposit into the vault, you're earning 2% rewards on the vault up until you reach your net deposit values. Once you have reached the amount that you have deposited minus fees, then you're going to be dropping down to the 1% level. There's a minimum to get started of 10 ARK, And there's also a maximum of 80,000 ARK that you're able to earn with one wallet. Now, you can open up multiple wallets, and as you're withdrawing more and more tokens, there are some taxes that are going to be applied to those. All of the taxes that are inside this ecosystem are designed for price stability. So it's designed to be an ecosystem with improved tokenomics from some of the things we've seen in other ROI smart contracts. You have the ability to ROI very fast, and that can be part of your strategy if you're doing a 50% compound, 50% withdrawal. The liquidity pool has been growing, user base has been growing, you're getting more and more people involved. And so this is developing into a community and an ecosystem that has the ability to last a very long time. We've seen drip that's been going for about 2 years, and some of the projects before that weren't, hitting that 2-year mark. Some of them were anywhere between, 9 months, maybe a year. So this is one that's designed for a long-term sustainability. This one has had 3 audits. Some things to take a look at when you're looking at some of the things that they're working on. They're working really hard on the fiat on-ramps on some of these virtual debit cards. They're also working on a physical card for people to buy in easily and be able to get involved with the ecosystem very quickly. They're working on different privacy tools in terms of a VPN. They just had a recent announcement with their new privacy token. They have a gold token that's in the works, released a mobile app not too long ago. So they're going to be migrating also to Polygon to offer some other ways for investors to get involved. Atlas, the founder of ArkFi, is providing a daily podcast that offers a little bit of a different approach, really centered on the community and bringing people together to ask questions, get answers to certain things. You have the ability to earn Spark Awards as you increase your bond holdings, or if you purchase a legacy NFT. There's different ways you can be eligible for some of those prizes. And so we're going to talk a little bit more on strategy, on how to grow your ARK account. So there's several strategies. You can look at one where you're getting your initial capital back a little bit faster. You also have a way to compound your account and build that into something that offers higher rewards in the future. This is a relatively new ecosystem, but I think with a lot of the tokenomics and the things that they've done to make this a more sustainable project, this could be one that has a lot of longevity. So when you come into the vault for the first time, you might see a few terms that are a little bit new. So you have CWR, which is your compound withdrawal ratio. And then you also have MPP, which is your max payout progress. And then you also have your NDV, which is your net deposit value. The CWR and the ratio is going to be one of the biggest things to take into consideration. So if you want to ROI faster, you want to take less risk, and you want to be able to get your initial capital back faster, you have the ability to do that in a 90-day period by doing a 50% compound, 50% withdrawal. Now, the drawback to that is that you might fall out of earning that 2%. You might drop down to 1%, and that is based on your net deposit value. If you reach that where you have taken out of the system the same amount that you've deposited in, essentially ROIing, then you're going to drop down to that 1%, and you're not going to be able to move back up to the 2%. And so the same applies if you get to the 0.5%. So the basic...
Just wanted to clarify that you can go from the 1% back to the 2%. You would just need fresh deposits into the vault and or referral rewards. So you can go from the 2% to the 1%, between the two. But you cannot recover from the 0.5%. I just wanted to clarify that.
Thing that you want to take into consideration is just keeping your ratio in a healthy range, and that is encouraging positive behavior in the ecosystem. If you're going to be someone that's going to be withdrawing more and you're getting closer to that 0.75, where you would drop down to 0.5% in terms of your ability to earn daily on your deposit, you're able to ROI even faster, but you're going to be earning less inside the ecosystem. If the majority of investors are in a more healthy range in terms of their compound withdrawal ratio, then overall for the ecosystem, it's going to be healthier. It's going to allow the ecosystem to grow faster. It's going to allow for more sustained growth. And so that is what we want to see. We want to see this project last. We want to see that it has longevity. And in order to do that, you need to encourage positive behaviors. These aspects are designed to encourage more sustainable growth. So I hope that offered some help and some insights on some different strategies that you can take into your favor. Nothing in crypto is guaranteed, but there is a lot of longevity to this. There's a lot of developments in the works. I feel that this is something that could see a lot of sustained growth. And so if you're getting involved with this in the early phases, you have the ability to grow with the ecosystem and profit considerably by growing an account. And it is designed for every investor. It's looking for ways to tap into certain markets where people just want to be able to buy with fiat. You're going to see that with some of the fiat onboarding with some of the physical cards. I've been involved with some of these types of projects that have grown massive communities in other parts of the world. And so I see that this has that potential. It's all going to come down to the sustainability of the ecosystem and how they're able to generate funds inside of this. And I think one of the best ways to get some of those questions answered is to get involved with the daily podcast and to listen to some of the people explain different aspects of how this is a more sustainable model and why this is going to last and why it is important to get involved as early as you can to build an account that could potentially yield very substantial returns in the future. So I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Great stuff there. Excuse me, sorry. Great stuff there from Clover. He's a great educator and a great leader. Someone you definitely want to listen to and follow. Can't wait to see his next video. Hopefully we get to see the dog and the jungle because I'm very interested in those bits. But yeah, great alpha there from him. And I like the style, very teacher-esque, as Atlas said. Like being back in school. Any questions or comments from the community tonight?
There's something just about a man with a whiteboard, you know? I feel like you're just more engaged and you're more willing to learn.
He has that teacher's aura about him.
I'm old school like that. I like to write things on the whiteboard myself.
If you were talking, Atlas, you were on mute, sir. I can see you unmuting your mic, but we cannot hear you.
Awesome.
Yeah, just lost Atlas for a minute there. We'll give it a minute till he's back. Z, I can see you talking as well, bud, but cannot hear you either.
Can you not hear me?
Can now.
Yeah, no, that was fascinating, man. It just shows you like when someone's like, it reminds me of like I went to MIT once in life, did a lecture there, and then like I went to uni, and there's just something when someone can sort of display a diagram and brainstorm on a whiteboard, it gives you goosebumps. So it gave me goosebumps to see ARK and how he broke it down on it. Really, really enjoyed that video.
Get your ARK PhD, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
To the moon. To the moon. To the moon. All right. Happy days. Anyone else wants to comment? A new twist. The PhD course happening there before your very eyes. You're witnessing the Clover bringing you that PhD education, MIT style.
Lex Friedman is calling in. He wants to book us for the next podcast.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to tell Mrs. Atlas to get the tuxedo ready. Sheesh.
Yeah, well, doing the whiteboard, you have to really be confident and be an expert. So well done, Clover. I mean, those are hard to do. Not just putting the content out, but then, walking through it the way he did shows the level of competency he has. And we know he's an OG. So to have him cover ARK is amazing. So thank you so much, Clover, if you're listening. And it'd be great to see some more of those whiteboard level, because you don't see a lot of those, especially the ROI DApp space. I haven't seen many, if any. Most of them are done, PowerPoint or some other kind of visuals, but not the whiteboard. So that was awesome.
Hello. Hey,
Hello.
team. I had a small question regarding influencers presenting ARK and other programs. I was wondering what your thoughts are. There have been issues with government body. I don't know if this gentleman is U.S. based.
He's out in the jungle, my friend. Deep in the jungle of Peru.
All right. Well,
But
I'm not sure. I'm wondering the feeling is in right now. Before, maybe not so much, but right now, the climate for promoting projects and things like that. Do you think that there's a risk, like to being? I mean, if some people are subpoenaed, I obviously depends on how big
you're going to
you
have to
are,
ask
how big you
Elon.
get.
I think you're going to have to ask Elon first.
No issue. So you're not okay. So there's no real. It's legal to do this, right? It's legal to promote it. It's doxed and all that.
I don't think you have to be doxxed or not. You can promote whatever you want. Now, if you're involved in a scam, that's a whole different matter, If you're out doing one of these. Elon even, revealed himself publicly again. Indecent exposure. I thought that wasn't going to happen with all of the
really
lawsuits flopping around. Yeah, he's definitely emboldened.
Maybe Z.
Some confidence.
I'll save it for later then. Pardon me for this question right now.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Lillian Rose, did you want to say something? I think we got a hot mic in the house. Shoo. All right. Coach Mistletoe, are you ready to spin that wheel?
Oh, let me pull it up.
You're still getting a bit matrix on us.
I'm still in the matrix? So
Can you keep talking?
Hello?
You're cutting out a bit.
Oh, no. One sec.
Atlas, are we going to do a Q&A after everything?
We always do. Absolutely, okay. Sir.
Good.
Am I any better?
Let's see.
1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
It seems to be a bit better. Let's just go for it.
Okay, perfect. Let's go for it. All right. Let me pull up the screen here.
Yeah, it's not super bad.
Awesome. Okay, I completely switched because I'm not sure what's going on. Something on my PC. But
I think it's the connection.
It might be the connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Wheel of the Toad, as I like to call everyone. If this is your first time here and you have no idea what is going on, every day we have a new sweep widget link posted in the main chat, pinned in the main chat, in the announcements channel, in the contest and giveaway. It's pretty easy to find. If you can't find it, just ask and we'll definitely repost it for you. But all you have to do is click that link. It'll basically give you it'll direct to a task list. All you have to do is go through those tasks and arrange from clicking or liking, commenting some YouTube videos, retweeting some Twitter links, visiting some websites, clapping some media articles. Once you go through all those lists there, your name will pop up on this wheel right here. And we're going to spin the wheel every single day. If we land on your name, you're in $50 to $100 worth of BUSD. And we do this every single day. So do be sure to get involved. We post the new widget link right after the podcast, but stick around. And also, do get involved in our ARK contest. I see there's quite a bit of people on the podcast here that don't have the ARK. I know you're here every day, so do get involved. And if you do have it as well, and you haven't sent me a screenshot, please do send me of the ARK name, because if you do not, you will not become eligible. I cannot go through the list of 4,000, 5,000 people and pick out each iHeart ARK. It's going to take way too long. So please make sure you do send that in, and you'll win up to $1,500 on podcast number 200, May 19th, 4 p.m. EST. So without further, let's give away money and spin the wheel.
All right, sir. On the count of 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations, Delilah 7J. You $50 with a BUSD.
Another winner. Let's go. And thank you for everyone that participated. This is what organic growth is about as we laser focus in together, rallying behind our great content creators, letting the algorithm know that we're supporting, we're subscribing, we are following, we're leaving comments, we're clapping up articles. This is what it's about, folks. We have the best content creators in the world here on the ARK. They've put their money where their mouth is. They've taken the time to do their due diligence, and they're sharing all of the great information, how to play the game, how to win, how to be smiling from ear to ear on the ARK. Speaking of smiling, let's see who's going to be smiling today. We're going to do the Spark rewards, folks. If you want to call out for Sparky to come to you, this is your time. We wish all of you luck in today's drawing. Let's get this crypto. And there it is, folks. We have our winners for today. The Spark Prize winner, their wallet ends in E946. They've won 640.96 ARK. That's a street value of $3,662.55. And our daily MVP, 17 referrals. Massive win and amount of work they put into this. Well deserved, folks. They have taken home right into their ARK Vault account 71.22 ARK, and that's a street value of $400,000. 6.95 BUSD. Congratulations, folks. Sheesh. That is a win. Welcome to the Nitro. Whew. Another one. Let's go ahead and shift on over to the DeFi sessions with our very own crypto DeFi expert, Mr. Z. Mr. Z, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you, sir.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, I was just saying I'm still mesmerized with the last YouTuber, the last video, just the whiteboard and the way it's something about a whiteboard and a person being able to explain complex things, and so I'm still I'm in awe of that. That was really cool. Glover, is Glover here? Is he? Maybe not today.
Not right now.
No way. Yeah, that'll be a really good conversation to have. So yeah, let me just share my screen. I think I'm sharing it now. Mistletoe, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna start off with the Bitcoin price right now. So as I said, like I'll always keep it the 4-hour or the daily sort of candle, so you guys can see the more long-term play and where we are right now. And currently, we haven't taken 27K yet. So for me, 27K was a region to basically claim, so we can pull back into the range. When I look into the chart now, what I kind of see is I see us going to 25K. Because of the way the way the structure is, the way the news outlet is, and how we're not stopping the interest rate hikes. We might see another 25 basis points in the next month or so. So I think the market sees this thing go even below. And as I was like sort of charting this up and just sort of meditating on the chart, I saw this article that came up on Cointelegraph. So, and it's pretty interesting to see that they kind of see something familiar to like what I saw. So they wrote, BTC price bounces at 25.8K low amid warning over low whale interest. So the way the ranges work is that's when sort of you see retail sort of playing off the range, and usually you have the whales that do the big moves. So they sell a bunch, and you see price fall down, or you see them buy the dip really quickly. Whenever a dip happens, when we've seen like 17, 18K, we've seen a spike, a huge wick, and then we see an upward trajectory within the hour or day or the week. It happens really quickly with whales. But right now, the way the data is kind of showing all the sort of, you can say, Dune analytics and what we're seeing from other sort of websites is that sell-offs are happening, and we might see that, I think. So one analyst had this to say about Bitcoin. So this is what they wrote. Bitcoin is showing weakness, and altcoins are slightly bouncing in their BTC pairs, as they have been retracing significantly. Overall, I'm looking at the case that we need to reclaim 26,500 to 26,800. So like close to like what I said with 27K before hitting longs. Otherwise, 25K is the region where we see price action. So you kind of have to see this for if we want a bullish run, if we want this to go back to like 27K and above, we need this thing to start showing levels of like hitting 27, 100, 400, sideways moving, and then bouncing. So right now, I think Bitcoin is going bearish. Like I have to be honest about it. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover. So what we're seeing with Bitcoin action, and we might see lower lows. So that's the first thing. Let me continue with the DeFi links. Give me 1 second. We covered this a little bit yesterday at the end of the podcast, but Binance has called it quits in Canada, and they blame the new sort of legislation that's been passed, and how the tax bracket works in Canada. So they had that to blame, but they also kept the doors open, saying if we see more flexible legislation and more crypto friendly environments, then we'll welcome back Binance in Canada. So that's one thing. Now the other thing I had in mind was because we have the presidential election coming up, and when we have presidential elections coming up, we have to see who their board of sort of advisors are. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing Biden is starting to like announce his key positions at the Federal Reserve, and this is really important if we want to see a sideways movement on Bitcoin, or we want to see this thing sort of reclaim the 50-60K region, and we see sort of alls pump. We have to see who they hire, and so I waited a week, and now we're starting to kind of see the sort of folks that he's looking to basically appoint as his advisors to Federal Reserve. So the first one is Adriano Kugler, who is the former economist to the U.S. Department of Labor, so a politician. The next person is Dr. Lisa Cook. Dr. Lisa Cook is someone who knows the banking system quite well. These hirees, so she's the one that like works with. So if you see in the picture there, you see Jerome Powell. So these sorts of hirees are very like you can say similar to what Obama did. So when Obama came into power, there was a complete swap in what's it called in advisors coming from J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and Citigroup. So I think that's the same like sort of legality that Biden wants to bring in, which is more rules and regulation, higher tax brackets, and I think that's the way his team are going to be looking into. So could we see the CBDC get launched, or do we see J.P. Morgan, as Brett has mentioned prior, launching their own Onyx blockchain solution? So all these factors are coming into fruition. So that's the update on the nominations in the advisory for Biden's Federal Reserve. Now the next article I have is pretty interesting. So ordinals and BRC20 will disappear in a matter of months. That's what Jan 3 CEO had to say. So this BRC20.io, everyone's sort of getting into right now. Like sort of project founders that have utility are predicting the unsustainability of this because of the sort of gas fee and what's going on with price action on most of these coins. So this is what the CEO Samson Mao had to say about BRC20. He goes, these guys are basically paying massive amounts of fees that go directly to Bitcoin miners, and there is no way this can be sustained. They will fade away after even months. Let's not talk about years here. And then he had this further on to say. Mao said, these are just short-term money grabs, similar to most things on competing chains like Ethereum and Solana. And this is the last thing he had to say. So to Mao, mass adoption of Bitcoin will happen because of its use case as a savings technology and as a means of exchange, not because of people minting JPEGs and sticking them in the chain. So yeah, that's the viewpoint that I kind of have a similar sort of viewpoint when it comes to, because we've been here before. It's not like this is the first time we've seen a marketplace of meme coins. We saw this happen on Binance Smart Chain. So when Binance Smart Chain first came out, it was what BRC20 and Ordinals is now. and I think these things just get reinvented, and they're money grabs basically. That's what they really are. They're money grabs, and I've been like this last week. There was a few that were recommended to me, and I would like spend a good half an hour to 1 hour having their telegrams on to see what they have to entice. And honestly, it's not the right way to like sort of sell your product. It's sort of based on marketing. Like 90% of what you hear from their sort of roadmap is marketing, listing on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, and launching on as many chains as possible, so they can keep money grabbing. So be careful, guys. Like you've been warned to because these things, you cannot predict what price they start at and what price they can dump at. It will be like a gradual climb, and then you see one big red candle, and that's how liquidity gets taken. So be very, very careful with that. And I think I think this is gonna I think every year we're gonna have this sort of thing happen, and then we have a phase where utility takes over, and then we look into more blue chip stuff like layer 2s and things, and then the year after we see another you can say rebirth of the meme coins on another blockchain. So we'll see how legislation also, what's happening in America, a bunch of legislations coming in. So we'll see how that sort of plays in, but be very, very careful with that. But yeah, that's my DeFi sessions concluded. Thank you guys.
Z?
Yeah, what's up?
Thank you very much for this review. I'm wondering, or do you have any more clarity as far as the planned release or dumping rather of Bitcoin from the confiscation and potential? I'm not sure if there was some early activity from we touched on with the hacks before, like Bitfinex and stuff. I heard it was this year. I heard by the end of this year the government planned to dump like 40K, or the rest because they dumped the first 10 and stuff, right? Are you aware of that schedule, or what's your feeling?
I mean, I'm not aware about the precise schedule, but I am aware of the amount of Bitcoin that's been held by the Fed Reserve. And in the bigger scale of things, Neto, you got to understand that Bitcoin's market cap is currently what's Bitcoin's market cap. So Bitcoin's market cap is 520 billion. These government ventures that are like auctioning out these Bitcoin is under 100 billion. So not even and I would say it comes down to like 30 to 40 billion when you talk about net Bitcoin. And we've seen this happen before. It's not the first time that we've seen an auction of Bitcoin. What it just means is it's an exchange of liquidity. It's not like they sell off and then cash in on money like we do. It's sort of it's an auction. Someone wins the auction and gets a discounted price. So instead of paying
it's like OTC. It's not going to actually dump the market. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it won't affect the price.
No. It doesn't affect price.
We got. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got an official word on that from the White House.
1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happens?
That's hilarious.
Going for re-election. That's crazy.
God help us all.
Wow.
That was a good one.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I hope that answered the question, Neto.
See, yeah, but then I guess the big concern is the release from the Mt. Gox and the potential for the hackers. They could dump it if they feel bearish. They're going to just dump it. I mean, they started, so they clearly would want to dump it. What about the Gox? Is that also going to be what?
The chart looks ready for a dump.
It does. I gotta agree with that. I think we're going lower, guys. I think the next few months, few weeks, I think we're going to hear about interest rates rumors again. Right now, like they're keeping calm. Jerome Powell's not giving enough statements, but then it's going to be dropped. We're going to find out that employments are happening again. I mean, right now we know about unemployment claims, and we feel we're going into a recession. So could that play into the Bitcoin price lowering down? And because it's not the
Hey,
Let's go, Brandon.
hey,
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, could you turn that down? Good luck.
Let's go, Brandon.
you know what they say?
That's hilarious.
Please, tastefully, please, Captain, tastefully do this. This is too mild, too much. It's not a talk show or something. Or what is it? Or you know?
Oh, it is a talk show. It
No way.
absolutely is a talk show. We're getting pumped up over here. But look, let's move it over to the Q&A after the 1 hour recording, folks. We're really coming up here to the 1 hour time. Is that it for today, Mr. Z?
Yeah.
With the
That's concluded.
the alpha. Let's get the alpha. We got the alpha. Let's keep it moving. Thank you, sir. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. One quick second here as we're going to finish off for the podcast recording. Then we're going to stick around, do some Q&A. I know there's a lot of questions. Everybody wants to know what's happening on the ARK. I want to thank everyone that came out today to the podcast. Congratulations to the Spark Rewards winner going into that Nitro mode for the first time. There's nothing like your first Nitro boost, as well as the 10% winner of Spark, the MVP with 17 referrals, folks. Yes, you heard it right. We are heavy lifting here on the ARK, rowing at a very, very fast pace. And really, we appreciate you wherever you are in this world. With that, we want to also thank the folks that are listening to the recording at a later time. We thank you for your participation through listening, and we hope you found it educational as well as entertaining. We're going to be back tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. UTC, folks. And do make sure to put that I love ARK so you can qualify to win. There's just 6 days left for the 200th consecutive podcast. $1,500 being given away. Make sure to send a screenshot to our very own coach, Mistletoad, so that he can put you in the Excel. Make sure that you've got an ARK Vault account. You're legible. This is only for our community. Our way to give back to you wonderful, wonderful investors, the smart money folks, we like to call you. Please take care of yourselves. Be good to each other, and we will see you tomorrow.